Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and here are a few things that we're going to be discussing in this video. I'm actually going to be starting with a public service announcement, thanks to some lovely, lovely scammers that are trying to get your precious XRP by tricking you. Some people I've already seen on social media have fallen for this, so I'm just going to try and get the word out, and hopefully it won't happen to you as a result. I've also got this story. This is awesome here. This comes from the Daily Hodl. Ripple's XRP payments product set for imminent launch in Brazil. Yes, indeed, my friends. A new, brand spanking new on-demand liquidity corridor, and it's even got that new on-demand liquidity corridor smell that we all love when it's fresh off of the assembly line. I'm pretty sure it's just glue, but it smells delightful to me. I also want to share this unrelated story towards the end, and this comes from You Today. This one's titled, Drug Dealer Who Was Trading Bitcoin Has $2.3 million Confiscated by Authorities. And they give the details. But before we go any further here, if you would please delicately tap that like button. And also, if you're a fan of that new on-demand liquidity corridor smell, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. Because, hey, you'll be in good company here. This is indeed an XRP-centric channel. And, a fun fact, it is the best channel on all of the YouTubes. Ask a scientist. It is absolutely true. Here's a tweet from XRP Euphoria on the Twitters. How in the heck does someone know that I hold XRP? Who is selling our email info? So what's he talking about here? Well, take a look at this. So here's an email that was received. And it reads as follows. It's allegedly from Ripple, and I guess it looks like the from line would read as Ripple Insights, which is Ripple's actual blog series, but this is a scam. And so it reads as follows. Stimulus package launched for XRP holders in order to mitigate economic downturn. Now, right there, if you know anything about Ripple, you know that there's no way they're just going to give away XRP for free. That happened in the very, very, very early days of crypto, and all sorts of other developers building on top of blockchains were doing similar things. Barely any was given out. And it wasn't something that was done for long. And that would have been, probably 2013, I believe. And so, no, Ripple is not giving out XRP. And it reads as follows. As the coronavirus pandemic unwinds, Ripple is moving boldly towards economic recovery. Yeah, because that's their job, and that's what they're trying to do. That sounds like more what the government's trying to do. Anyway, with two major campaigns being launched, the Community Incentive Plan and the Support Program, Ripple is starting to unlock XRP batches previously reserved strictly for enterprise customers. By unlocking over 2.5 billion XRP, both campaigns are fully focused on users of RippleNet. If you're an end user, you're not using RippleNet. Not directly, anyway. You could indirectly use it, if you're going through a remittance company, and then you wouldn't know XRP is being used in the background. But other than that, or the messaging portion also. Other than that, no, you're not using it. So focusing on users of RippleNet, that would be their customers. Oh, it's so stupid. It's written so well, but it's just wrong. It's obviously fake. They're just trying to obviously fool people, so whatever, enough people can fall for it. And then they wrote the following. Users can register by whitelisting their address in preparation for the Community Incentives and Support Program. The first batch of XRP will be distributed starting June 11th and will be aimed towards all current holders in exchanges or personal addresses. And they even got the actual Ripple address right here. You got 2020, copyright 2020 Ripple, all rights reserved. And so the email itself looks legit, and it's actually written in a more professional manner than you see. Because a lot of times it's people where English isn't their first language, and you read through it, and it's just broken sentences and stuff, and people still sometimes fall for it. This was well written. I mean, there's all sorts of things that should make it very clear it's not accurate if you know enough about Ripple. But no. Here's the next picture, though. Here's who it's actually from. And this should be a dead giveaway as well. It's Ripple at Casa Dosa Barondemand. Or wait, Casa Dosa Barondemand.com. It's not Ripple. Okay? It's clearly not Ripple. Please do not fall for this. All right, into the next now. Ripple's XRP payments product set for imminent launch in Brazil. Ripple's global head of banking says the company will soon launch XRP-powered cross-border payments in Brazil. Marjan Delatin joined a Future of Finance panel on Wednesday to discuss Ripple's suite of digital payment products, including on-demand liquidity, for short, ODL, which utilizes XRP. Delatin says ODL is actively expanding, and here is a quote. We extend these services now to more and more corridors, typically exotic corridors with lots of challenges like the Philippines, and very soon within Brazil. Very cool stuff. And like we've talked about on this channel before here, they're absolutely aiming for what has been labeled the low-hanging fruit. You know, it's those corridors that could most use the service. It's those corridors with the most friction. And for those of you that missed the news the other day, we got official word from Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, that in the first quarter of 2020, they added 28 new customers who signed production contracts utilizing on-demand liquidity, meaning, of course, XRP as a bridge currency. 28. So that brings the total number to over 50, because we already know that there were over 24 as of November 2018. And so, again, that number, the 28 number, that's just for the first quarter, so January, February, March. That does not include any customers that they would have landed in December, April, May, and up to this point in June. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's more like 60, 70, 80 on-demand liquidity customers if they continue to sign contracts at that particular pace. And so I don't know that to be the case. I'm just saying if they were to continue the client acquisition at that pace, I would not be surprised if it's somewhere around there in reality here. Now, the Ripple official says the company thinks the COVID-19 pandemic is pushing the agenda of digitization. We've talked about that on the channel too. I think that's absolutely true. Earlier this week, Ashish Birla, Ripple's Senior Vice President of Product Management and Corporate Development, also touched on Ripple's 2020 expansion plans. And here's a quote. And this actually, funny enough, comes from the Ripple Insights piece that kind of set the entire world of the crypto Twitter on fire, at least those in the XRP community. With and I'm not going to get into it in this video. I've talked about it enough, I think, at this point. But just with the concept of Ripple changing their focus in terms of what's the right way to approach building out on-demand liquidity in the corridors, and what customers do you want to go after? And they all realize ultimately it's SMEs, small medium enterprises. Which, I mean, they already knew that was it, but they thought, okay, it's time to double and triple down specifically on that and do, get away from some of the other stuff that they were doing. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. I've talked about it plenty here. But here's the quote from Ashish Birla. Ripple is on track to open new ODL corridors this year, and we're onboarding new customers and working with existing customers to ramp up ODL volume in important corridors, including United States dollar to Mexican peso, United States dollars to Philippine peso, Australian dollar to United States dollar, and Philippine peso, and from euro to United States dollar. So they've got their work cut out for them, let's say. So we're going to be seeing, as time passes, you will see, I'm sure, based on this, more corridors actually opening up this calendar year. Now, on-demand liquidity has already made some splashes in certain avenues of the institutional remittance industry, particularly along the U.S.-Mexico corridor. Ain't that the damn truth? And again, I don't offer financial advice. I'm always going to say that in every single video because it is true, and I don't have a financial background. Super duper transparent about that. Just an enthusiastic guy in the XRP community that loves talking about this stuff too much. But I will say that this is real utility here. This is solving a real problem for real customers here. Am I starting to sound like Brad Garlinghouse? And I just firmly believe that utility matters and will win the day. So as long as cryptocurrency keeps getting used, I think it's going to result in tremendous adoption and staying power long term. That's what I'm betting on anyway. All right, into this last piece now. Drug dealer who was trading Bitcoin has $2.3 million confiscated by authorities. Paul Johnson, an ex-KFC worker from the United Kingdom who operated a multi-billion drug empire from his home, had 1.8 million pounds, which is about $2.3 million, confiscated by the court, Harborough Mail reports. The real-life Walter White was sentenced to 8 years in prison back in February for selling drugs on the dark web with the help of Bitcoin. I tell you what, he should have stuck to those original recipe chicken thighs and maybe some extra crispy chicken breasts, because the route that he went here instead done got him locked up. Where he belongs, frankly. Because as my grandpappy used to say, people are no damn good. Now, after quitting his work at the fast food chain, Johnson devolved all of his time to his illegal hobby while using a bogus tea trading business as a cover-up to pull the wool over everyone's eyes. Oh yes, the tea trading front. It's what every scammer uses, right? A tea trading front. Would have been even better if he made his own, like, a fake fried chicken retail front. That I would have really enjoyed. Johnson, just like the fictional Breaking Bad character, never had problems with the law, and his neighbors never had an idea that he was smuggling kilos of postal narcotics into the UK and sell them for immense profits right under their noses. The drug dealer and his wife enjoyed a relatively modest life in an inconspicuous house and drove a used Range Rover. These properties have also been confiscated. After searching Johnson's home in December 2017, the police confiscated LSD, heroin, and other prohibited substances found in his attic, along with a laptop that was used for actively trading cryptocurrencies. Oh man, what a pudwhacker. This guy sucks. You know what? You know what? If you don't want to end up in jail, just like don't be a bad person, okay? Like, don't do bad stuff. Like, this freaking jackass knew that this was the wrong thing to do, and there you go. Like I said, man, you should have stuck with your fried chicken, bro. Maybe you wouldn't be as, maybe you wouldn't be thrilled with that, career path. Should you have never done anything else with your life. But I'll tell you what. Coming home smelling like fried chicken every night is not the worst thing in the world. Don't drop the soap. That is it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.